I'm Professor Nirav Mehta. I'm welcoming to you my channel for the subject called Automobile Component Design. Today, in this subject, we are going to discuss about design of valve gear mechanism. So this is introductory session to designing this valve gear mechanism. Before getting into this valve gear mechanism, we should understand about what is the function and what is working, how it condition, and different aspect of this valve gear mechanism. So valve gear mechanism is used to provide sufficient amount of fuel to our internal combustion engine at perfect time. Clear? So it should have a perfect timing as well as it should provide sufficient amount of fuel at each and every stroke. So before finding out what are the different aspect of this valve gear mechanism, we should know about function of this valve gear mechanism and how it constructed. So here you can see this is a diagram, or you can say for a vertical engine and for horizontal engine, this is the construction and arrangement of our valve gear mechanism. Here, in the case of this vertical engine, you can see this is a cam which is connected to our valve timing belt, or you can say a timing belt, which is connected to a follower. This follower is directly connected to this tappet, and ultimately through this rocker arm, it will going to provide the motion to our valve which is open and closed by this camshaft. So ultimately this camshaft is directly connected to our timing belt, and this through this timing belt it ultimately provides us different types of motion at the time of at exact time of our fuel inlet and fuel outlet. So by understanding this function we can easily design our this design of this construction of our valve gear mechanism. First, let's discuss about construction of our valve gear mechanism. Here you can see this cam and follower. Here, to this design of this follower is mainly depending on its velocity and timing of our velocity diagram of this cam and follower. After designing of this rocker arm is subjected to a bending stress and shear stress. So depending on this bending and stress and shear stress, we are going to design this rocker arm. The spring is designed depending on its stiffness and its working condition, and as well as wall is designed depending on what amount of temperature which is exerted on this wall. So there are mainly two valve. One is inlet valve and one is outlet valve. Function of this two, both of valve will be same, open and closing, but the condition, working condition will going to be different. Clear? So working condition for this inlet valve, it's different because it has to work under a moderate amount of temperature, and exhaust valve has to work under higher amount of temperature. But in case of this inlet valve, it should have sufficient amount of chemical stability against this chemical composition of our inlet charge, and for this for that outlet valve, it should have sufficient amount of ceramic ability compared to inlet valve. So material of this inlet and outlet valve will also going to be different in the case of this valve. Clear? Valve gear mechanism. So let's discuss about working condition. So as I have told you, working in the working condition, the inlet valve will going to exert or come under moderate amount of temperature compared to our outlet valve, because at the outlet condition the temperature of flue gases, or you can say exhaust gases, are very excessive. Clear? So due to this excessive temperature, they will directly to comes under immense amount of thermal stress. So design of this outlet valve will going to be a mainly depending on its temperature, and it will always going to be a ceramic material compared to inlet valve. Inlet valve should have sufficient amount of strength against wear and tear. So it should have the material should be selected depending on this wear and tear properties. So here we have considered the different working condition for that, as well as they should be considered or depending on its temperature and its chemical composition. After that, how the selection of material for these valves takes place. So it has to work under immense amount of temperature. Sometimes gone up to elevated up to 2000 degrees Celsius. So we have to consider that kind of material which can withstand at this amount of temperature also. Clear? So good, it should have good heat conduction, heat resistant and corrosion resistant and wear resistant. How this heat conduction will take place? So after each and every stroke, wall has to lose amount of, or you can say transfer that amount, excessive amount of heat from that material. Clear? If it is not sufficient to do that, clear, it will concentrate the thermal stress. Clear? So it should have sufficient amount of heat transfer ability. Second, it should also comes under corrosion resistant. How? Because after each and every stroke, it will try to rub against the seat of that valve. So that seat of that valve and that valve head will going to create a rubbing motion between each other, and ultimately it will create a wear between them. Clear? Corrosion and wear between them, and ultimately due to that opening and closing condition, it also comes under shock. So it should also have a damping or damper property which can also prevent against any kind of shock. So inlet valve is generally made out of nickel and chromium alloy. Why? Because it should be mainly comes under wear resistance and shock resistance rather than temperature or heat resistance. So the inlet valve should be nickel chromium alloy, and our outlet, or you can say exhaust valve, will be mainly a ceramic material, clear, which is called silicon chromium steel material. Silicon is ceramic material, so it should have a capability to resist again any excessive amount of heat. After that, let's talk about manufacturing process. So manufacturing process for this valve and each and every component will going to be a forging process, and that then we will go through a sufficient amount of heat treatment process, because this should be work against excessive amount of heat. So we have to consider this kind of these two type of property, clear, which in working. So manufacturing process in the case of valves are mainly forging, after that machining, and ultimately heat treatment process. Here heat treatment process will going to be a very much essential in the case of our valves. Clear? So after that, we will consider different types of forces acting on this valve. So there are mainly two type of forces. One is bending force, and one is the force acting on, which is called wear force. Clear? As well as it is also comes under heat transfer and as heat stress. So there is also sufficient amount of concentration of heat in the case of this valve gear mechanism. So our design will going to mainly depending on bending as well as wear stress. Clear? So for designing this valve gear mechanism, what we have to consider? We have to consider it should be a heat sufficient amount of heat resistance. Clear? It should have a good thermal conductivity. So first of all, we have to design for sufficient amount of heat resistance capability, then thermal conductivity. Here it should have corrosion resistance also, because it has to comes under that chemical composition of the fuel. So fuel try to create that try to make that chemical reaction with our material. So ultimately it should have also have corrosion resistance. Then it should have a wear resistance. Here it should comes under sufficient amount of wear, so it should have properties of wear resistance, and ultimately it should have a shock resistance property. So our wall design is mainly depending on this five criteria. One is heat resistance, thermal conductivity, corrosion resistance, wear resistance, and shock absorber, which is mainly due to its working condition. So I hope you have understand about each and every aspect of our valve gear mechanism. This is the procedure of this design of valve gear mechanism. So if you have any doubt regarding to design of this valve gear mechanism, you can directly contact. So I'm ending up with this session.